I'm Luke Neller and welcome to Best Replays of the Week, where we select 5 replays sent in by you, the viewers, and showcase them for your enjoyment. Don't forget to vote for which was the best replay of the week at the end of the show. In this episode we have a rare friend, high damage pew pew, a pacifist at war, the OI destroyer, and absolute chaos. Roll out! Let's kick off this episode with an unusual tank, the T95E2. I wouldn't be surprised if many of you haven't seen one. It was given away as part of the original player referral program, making it one of the rarest tanks in the game. But other than that, it's your average Tier 8 US medium tank. Solid gun depression, good turret, but with a large cupola. Our hero is Siubek 002 and the map is good old Redshear. The middle hill offers good map control and angles to hit any overly aggressive enemies. $1k damage and taking out the Oni is a decent opening, but it's important not to be passive. With all enemies now in cover, it's time to move. Little can be gained assaulting entrenched enemy TDs, especially when the enemies have completely overrun the allied heavy tanks and are pushing hard towards the base. Siubek's original position is a great place to stop a push, but allies keep falling. Will it be enough? Siubek takes full advantage of the thick foliage and the gentle hill, making the most out of the T95E2's TVM. But the Reds have finally pushed to the foot of the hill, denying the cover. A fierce fight is about to begin. The VKB overexposes lower plate and is swiftly punished, but in comes a T54 striking down the Immo as it swings around. But our hero has the full support of what remains of the team. It's a 4v3v8 situation now. Yikes. Knowing too well that it's only a matter of time before enemies overwhelm that location, Siubek retreats to the red line. Think positive. At least we're not getting flanked from the rear, eh? A full HP P43 appears but is no match for our hero, even whilst under constant artillery bombardment. The defender is struck from the map, then the friendly Scorpion finally falls. It is now Siubek against 2 TDs and 3 artillery. Whatever our hero does, it has to be fast and decisive. Keep calm. Oh, it seems that GW Panther has been elected scout for the endgame. Neat. One less enemy tank, but more importantly, not spotted. A Borsig, but Siubek is quick on the trigger and avoids getting spotted once again. Now the SU attempts a charge, but engaging it at this range would be suicidal. Instead, let it come closer and surprise it with a charge! Disaster! Siubek misses the track shot! The return is just as bad as the SU shell detonates on a rocky wall. This should be RT says no. That was a close call. Just dodge those shells. That never come. Okay. Oh, surprised to see you there, M40, M43. I guess that explains how they hit that SU charge earlier. One remaining. The 2-minute warning sound precedes the base capture siren. But 2 minutes is plenty to get back. Opening with a tracking shot means this arty is a sitting duck, even if it disappeared. GG. Well, that was an entertaining game. Siubek 002 managed to pull back an almost unwinnable game, dealing 6.5k damage and, seriously, engaging 14 tanks on the enemy team. That's awesome. Plus earning 2 epic medals, Kalabanos and Dimitrius. For that performance, we award you, Siubek 002, our Confederate of the Week award. Moving on to Westfield and Goxy HN. Their tank of choice is the new Tier 8 French wheeled tank, the Lynx 6x6, perfect for taking key positions fast. Like the southeast corner on this very map, no other tank can contest its travel mode. Even the speedy Chromo is caught off guard and dispatched quickly. Its support, however, is still there. Advancing over the plain would be simply suicide. Advancing down the red line to engage the hidden foes? Good idea. Ramming a T-3485 twice and losing 101 HP? Bad idea. Sitrep. The southeast might be all green, but the Reds are in full control over northwest. A typical Westfield situation. This Excalibur might be oblivious to our little friend, but the Scorpion certainly is not, as it charges towards our hero. What to do? Maybe escape towards... Artie denies the retreat. But it misses! Unfortunately, the second Artie does not, stripping our hero of precious HP. Repair the wheels and go! Luckily, even with a stunned crew, this thing still moves like a bat out of hell. Moving up through the middle, spots a solo Su-101. Easy prey for the Lynx. No matter what the TD tries, the circle of death compels him. Oh crap baskets, an MT-25! The first shot connects, but it needs 2 more to take down our big kitty, and we have support. Whoa, the MT-25 connected only once more. That was close. And that was close. A 110? With one of the luckiest tracking shots I've ever seen, the nimble Lynx pounces with full team support, tearing the 110 to shreds. That red Scorp is still causing problems in the village, and our TD support copies the enemy tactic of advancing alone and bites the dust, turning the game from a 3-tank lead into a 1-tank deficit. Better relocate fast. Okay, maybe not that fast. The Tiger Porsche proves it's not the best scout in the world. But that Scorpion comes back quickly to equalize the score. This is the big boss. Can the light tank circle even an agile TD like the Scorp? The answer is yes, absolutely. What first, the TD or the Artie? A pretty obvious Hummel first. No more annoying splash now. Now where's that? Oh my lord, that was close! That ATDT must be somewhere near. How is this big British hunk of metal destroying our A-43 Invisible? Gotta be quick. Spotted? Where is it? There! Full HP, but it's facing the wrong way. Much faster TDs were no match for the Lynx, let alone a lumbering AT-15. Victory! A great game that had it all. Damage, spotting, brawling and sniping. Goxie HN was truly everywhere, damaging 13 enemy tanks and covering an impressive 10 kilometers. And the numbers confirm that. 4.4k damage, 4k spotting, and 1,948 base XP means that Goxie HN is our Sniper of the Week. Well done! Next up we have Sler. The map is Prokhorovka. The tank of choice, Batchat 12-ton. And the replay is, you've guessed it, our Scout of the Week. As every good scout knows, the best opening play is to quickly poke the middle ridge and spot the movements of the enemy tanks. But in this case, only 2 get spotted. That can mean only one thing. Party on the red line. Woo! Sixth Sense confirms that stopping even behind a rock is not a good idea. There are many dangers here, Artie being one of them. The enemy WZ makes a fatal mistake and gets obliterated. That would mean that Reds have lost all vision. How convenient. Here's a lovely bush as seen previously on Best Replays of the Week. Sulza must be our fan. Something that's probably not true for this SU-130 PM. Moving up reveals the FB-4202 only 60 meters away. Don't fire! Don't fire! I would have fired, but the camo holds. And a Scorpion. Same story as friendly shells hit their mark. Sulzer just made 3 enemy tanks disappear within moments. Another one! The Waffle barely escapes, but the numbers show 4.7k spotting damage and we're only getting started. A bit closer... Oh no! Those are 3 enemy tanks ready and waiting, but the greens are there in droves. Turns out, a nimble Batchat is not the easiest target to hit. With the 1-2 line clear, and the only damage taken is a tracking shot, the tally says 8,300 spotting damage, but Sulzer wants more. I'm starting to think, though, our friend here is a bit of a pacifist. Foot on the throttle, pedal to the metal, and scout on! Ouch! Not invincible, though! A lucky break that the Grille HE shell did not actually penetrate. The left mouse button does work, as that Grille becomes kill number 1. Followed by the E75. 2 tanks remaining, still spotting to be done. Jump on the train tracks and... Oh no! The Object 140 waited for a hero and didn't miss! Sulzer is done for! It seems like fighting really wasn't your thing after all, Sulzer, but it doesn't matter, as the job was already done. GG. Wow, I haven't seen such a dedicated scout in a long time. Fearless and disciplined, Sulzer ended up with a whopping 13,000 spotting damage. Insane. And to top it off, Orlik's medal as well, with just 2 kills. What a difference a good scout makes. A worthy Scout of the Week for Sulzer. Moving on to Mannerheim Line and our top gun of this week, Pascal 898. Their tank of choice is a fairly unusual one. Heavy tank number 6, or the Japanese Tiger. The armor might be solid, but it's flat as a pancake, so it's hard to utilize to its fullest extent. With 7 heavy tanks per team, the southeastern corner of the map is where the action will be, and Pascal heads there without hesitation. That's an enemy OI, a tough nut to crack for this Tiger. Eek! A second one! Stopped just in time as it attempted to cross. But Pascal knows how to deal with this one. Tracked, repaired, but instantly retracked by an ally, so the tactic is permi-track and destroy. Another one? The 3rd Japanese behemoth joins the fray. Okay, here's how to fight one. First off, avoid getting hit by the massive gun. Second, wait for the reload, as with great power comes great reloadability. Third, track it in place and keep it there. Done. Pure AP goodness. Rinse and repeat. Pascal has taken out 3 OIs without a scratch. Loving it! And now to flank the lower road. Mistiming the flop shot gives Pascal their first damage, then overthinking the kill gives another shot. But the flank is still secured and the road to the enemy base seems open. That 131 could have been a problem had it joined the heavy party, but this way it's just the 7th kill. That T-52 seems AFK, but the Jumbo is certainly not, turning the last ally in this flank to dust. You may have more armor than a normal Sherman, but you're a Sherman nonetheless. Sitrep. 3v2, but a big separation. What would you do? Drive to the cap? That's what most would do, I reckon. However, that's a lot of ground to cover and enemies could be in position. Yep, there's a Cromwell there, alright. Better find another way. So regrouping is the name of the game. Once together, the situation will be totally... Make that 2v2, but our OI is still at full HP. Use that time, there's plenty of it. Regroup attempt number 2. This time it worked, but it appears the OI fell beyond help. Pascal has to do this all alone. Yeah, a Cromwell! It rushes away, perhaps not spotting the OI? Finally, a lucky break, as the VK is caught off guard and the snap connects. As the chieftain would say, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Oh no, the Cromwell has flanked around and has a clear shot. Track and repair. No, not like this. Wiggle. The kill shot never comes. It's 1-on-1 for the win. Heavy tank number 6 versus a Cromwell with 2 minutes left. Their cap siren triggers, but we know of the triple bush that will surely win the day. There! The enemy hides in the bushes thinking it's safe, but it is the tiger that remains unspotted. GG. An excellent display of skill from Pascal, aggressive when needed and cautious when required. The score shows 4,964 damage, 2,185 base XP, and 10 kills, earning a Pulse medal and making Pascal 898 our top gun of the week. And for the last replay of the episode, we are back on Himmelsdorf with totally not QSR. It's a pure Tier 8 game, and their tank of choice is the French AMX M449, or the Liberté without a camo. A rare breed amongst the French heavies, as this one has solid frontal armor and a non-autoloading 100mm gun. The downside is the side armor. It's very thin, as is the cupola, so you've got to be careful at all times. Ouch! The battle hasn't even started properly and QSR is already missing 500 HP as a Scorpion hits the turret ring. Time for some damage! The IS-3 smells blood in the water and charges in. 2 expert tracking shots contain it, but the last 2 shells low roll. There's no time for another shot either, as the banana has fallen. Tanks to the rear! The situation looks grim. 4 enemy tanks to the left, IS-3 to the right. How will QSR get out of this one? Nicely done! A well-aimed shot on the thin IS-3 roof eliminates the threat from the left. Top tip. Keep a mental note of when the enemy tank used their repair kit, like this defender right now for example. A second tracking shot means this is unable to prevent QSR from taking out the enemy light tank. Enraged, the defender charges but fails to pen a single shot. What now? A bulldog to the rear! It was a trap, leading straight into a UDS waiting to pounce. Any HP buffer is now gone. The bulldog misses his kill shot and pays the price. Down boy! This entire game has been so hectic that no real front lines have been formed. Tanks have been acting more like a swarm. And now the UDES from the railroad is on the hill. This battle. Looks like the team is going for a cap attempt, whilst our hero fights off an IMO. No luck here. QSR fires only once the IMO had turned just enough to guarantee a tracking shot and deal damage. Using the building to bait the shot onto the tough armor is a subtle display of true skill. The Allied attempt at a cap was shut down, but the Batchat baits the Super Pershing right into the jaws of our hero. Advice is given as they reposition, ready for the final showdown. It might be 2v1, but both rings are on a one-shot and the UDES is not. But the TD doesn't stick around. What's their plan, I wonder? Maybe they just want to see the world. That UDES has travelled far this battle. QSR orders the Batchat into the cap to apply pressure, as this is not a guaranteed fight after all. There it is! What? What an ending! I certainly didn't see that happening. But never mind the acrobatics, Totally Not QSR played this perfectly, using every opportunity and demonstrating top-notch gameplay. Whilst not the highest damage nor most XP we've seen, the constant tracking shots, use of armor, and tactical decisions under immense pressure is what makes this replay our crucial contribution of the week. Congratulations, Totally Not QSR. And that's it for this episode. Remember to vote for which replay should be the best one of the week. I'm loving that aggressive tiger, but that UDS ending was glorious. How about our pacifist scout? But the first battle managed to do something to 14 of the 15 enemy tanks. Wait, do I even get a vote? But remember, we vote for every single episode. And last episode, the week's winner was... Beneficial Cucumber, the meme lord in the P-44 Pantera. It was such a cool game, if not one you can learn from. I'm Luke Nella, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.